guys! So today I'm going to be talking about cosplay makeup. I'm going to be talking about the absolute basics. So I won't be getting into special effects makeup or anything like that. Just tips and tricks to help you have your cosplay makeup look flawless. And I do have a makeup background, so I did go to school for makeup. I got my certification. So I do know a bit much about it, and I've been cosplaying for 5 years. So I hope these tips and tricks can help you out. The first thing I'm going to talk about is skincare. It's important for you to have a skincare routine because to have good makeup, you have to have a pretty good base to put it on. So if your skin looks bad, you know, your face makeup is going to look bumpy or dry, anything like that. You want to make sure you're washing your face in the morning and at night. Even if you're not wearing makeup throughout the day, you still want to wash your face because all of the pollutants and dirt, grease, oils do get on your face, so you do want to take them all off. If you don't want to wash your face too much with face wash, you could also use micellar water, which is a pretty great alternative. You definitely want to wash your face after heavy makeup wear, so usually after a con, when I get home, I directly wash my face right after, just to make sure my skin isn't like absorbing all of the gross like sweat and grease and stuff like that. You want to make sure you're moisturizing your face as well in the morning and at night, whether you have oily skin, combination skin, or dry skin. Dry skin, definitely you need to moisturize. There's different moisturizers for each skin type, so I'm sure if you look at it or Google it, you can find the best moisturizer for you. Also, makeup wipes and makeup remover liquid is great to have with you on a costume convention trip. I just use these Kirkland ones. You can get them from Costco, but you can use any kind that you like. And they're also great, like if you make a small mistake, you can also use Q-tips for the liquid, or you can use those wipes just to fix up. If let's say you mess up your eyeliner line, you can fix that up. Or they're also good for if you get deodorant or anything on your costume. Makeup wipes remove a lot of things from my clothing, so that's another tip right there. The first and most kind of important thing is primers. So I'm talking about face primers and eyeshadow primers. So I'm going to tell you what I use first. I use the Urban Decay Primer Potion for my eyes, and I use the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer for my face. For your face primer, you're going to try to look for something matte, so nothing too dewy or glowy, because that could show up as shine on the camera. And also something that covers pores. If you do have that problem, it will cover pores and will smooth out lines in your face. And the most important thing about face primer is that it keeps your face makeup on. For your eyeshadow primer, you're going to want something that pretty much, for your eye primer, as long as you have something, whether it's eyeshadow primer or concealer, that works as well. It'll keep your eyeshadow on and from creasing throughout the day. So now I'm going to talk about eyeshadows, and what I'm going to show you is one of the 120 Colors palette eyeshadows from BH Cosmetics. You can also find these from Coastal Scents, or you can also get ones from NYX, but they do have less of a color variety. I feel like these have more to offer. See, like pretty much endless color possibilities here. So that's also great. It's also good for travel since it's only one palette, so pretty much everything is in this one little thing. Also, if you do know that certain costumes, if they're going to use the same thing, like NYX also has like face makeup mixed with like the eyeshadow, so that's also another alternative. I'm going to talk about eyebrows now. I find that a lot of people do ignore doing their eyebrows, and I find that crazy because it does frame your face. And also, if you're doing a costume with bright colored hair, I also like to match my eyebrows to the wig that I'm wearing. So if I'm wearing a pink wig, I'm going to wear pink eyebrows. If I'm wearing a blue wig, I'm going to have blue eyebrows, depending on the character, if they do have their eyebrows matching their hair color. And also, there's plenty of tutorials if you do have thick, dark hair. There's ways you could definitely cover your eyebrows for that. I'm just lucky enough that I could just go over with shadow, which that eyeshadow palette, this one, does come in handy for, because there's endless wig eyebrow combination colors. You can also match your eyebrows to the character, so if they have like more anime style eyebrows, you can do them very thin. But you definitely have to cover them first before that. Alright, so now I'm going to go into foundation, and it's definitely not a must-have if you don't really like wearing foundation. But I feel like it definitely kind of, I feel like you definitely should consider it because it does make your skin look flawless and very smooth in pictures. So the foundation that I use is the Kat Von D foundation. You can definitely get one that's cheaper. I know Rimmel makes great ones, NYX makes good ones, so you definitely don't have to splurge on foundation if you don't wear it every day and you just want to wear it for cosplay. The only thing you have to make sure is that the color matches you perfectly. So pretty much you want to match it on the side of your jaw. If there's nobody, if you're going for a drugstore foundation, because there's nobody there to really match it for you. But if you're at a Sephora or an Ulta, definitely ask the workers there to help you match your foundation so you get a perfect fit, because that will come out on camera. And make sure you're blending it down to your neck so that it's all the same color. Also, what you're looking for is a foundation with a matte finish. So if it's dewy or anything, the shine is going to come off of the camera, as well as if it has SPF, your face is going to white out. So you want to look for something that's matte with no SPF. I would recommend looking for something with medium to full coverage so you can build it up if you do need more or less, depending on where your skin is at. I know a lot of people don't wear eyelashes, but you really should consider it because it does help your eyes look larger and more open. I use the Red Cherry 43 pretty much. I mean, I wear them every day as well. So I love them for cosplay because they're a little bit dramatic, but they're also very natural at the same time. And they definitely make your eyes pop more. If you don't want to wear lashes, you can just wear mascara, but just make sure you're curling your lashes and applying at least 2 coats. So they definitely show up in the pictures because it's hard with photography. You definitely want to add even more makeup than when you do in regular life. If you are going to try out the eyelashes, then I would practice them a little bit before the actual convention day if you're not too sure on how to apply them, just to make sure during the convention you're not like getting frustrated the day you're doing your makeup and nothing's coming out right. So I would, if you have a convention on the weekend, I would practice it throughout the week just to make sure you have the technique perfect. Also, some other recommendations: Ardell makes really great eyelashes if you want to go to the drugstore and get them, and also eBay has very good lashes if you just want to wear them for cosplay. They have ones with about 10 or 20 lashes on like a whole sheet, so that's definitely worth it to get. Now I'm going to talk about contouring, and I'm going to talk about my favorite first. This is the Contour Cream Kit by Anastasia. So it has a bunch of dark colors. Sometimes I don't use the lighter colors because they're a little dark, because it is medium. This is definitely great if you like more of a cream contour, but if you like more of a powder contour, I'd recommend the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette, because it has more of a gray type brown tones, which make a nice shade color. So contouring is great because you can change your face into other face shapes, whether or not, depending on the character you're cosplaying as. So if your character has a very slim nose, you could contour the side of your nose, or if they have very high cheekbones, you could contour your cheeks. Depends on the character. There's also face charts online that go by your face shape that tells you how you should be contouring your face, so you could go either way. You want to make sure you're powdering your face makeup after you apply it. So I like to use the Rimmel matte powder that's really cheap and I love it. Any translucent powder, you want to make sure it has no SPF. I don't really recommend, if I could find it, I don't recommend using the Makeup Forever HD powder for your cosplay makeup because it does have a white cast when flash does go off. So even though it does say HD, a lot of these powders do have some white in them that'll make it really, the flash to bounce off your face, so it will wash you out a lot, so I wouldn't recommend that. Another thing that people don't usually think about is using a setting spray. And this one is the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. You get this at any drugstore, Ulta, things like that. And so you want to spray it on after you do your face makeup, and then you could keep it with you if you can during the day. You spray it on before a photo shoot, especially if it's very hot at the convention. You can keep spraying it on throughout the day to make sure your makeup is intact and still on your face, because it could melt off. I'm going to stick contacts and circle lenses in here because they're not necessarily makeup, but they do kind of incorporate somewhat into makeup. So it is a good detail to have your eyes to match your character, but it's definitely not necessary. You can always Photoshop your eyes to be the same color if you're looking at a photo shoot or things like that. Before you use circle lenses or contact lenses, you definitely should understand all the health and safety precautions before using them. And you want to learn how to care for them and use them properly. So I'm not going to get into contact lenses too much, but it's just another thing to make your cosplay more detailed. And I'm also going to recommend this product, which is Sally Hansen's Airbrush Legs. And I've used this a few times because usually sometimes I find that like if I have bruises or anything like on my arms or legs, I feel like this covers everything. They're water resistant, so it's resistant to sweat and oil. So usually what I do is I spray it on and then rub it on like my arms, sometimes my chest, my legs, things like that. So it just creates more of a flawless finish on my body, so everything's like pretty good and pretty set. Usually I wear on my legs, I wear tights, but if I can't wear tights, I'll usually go for this, and this works pretty well. It is a little pricey, but it's not too bad because you don't use that much. So, and that adds like a very nice glow to you. So if you guys have any other questions, you can put them down in the comment box and I will get back to you.